Right, thank you so much. We're talking about these results. We're looking at IREV, which of course is INEC result viewing portal, and it shows us real-time the transmission of results so we can see that it is transparent. Now, taking a look at that, this is what we have presently. We're expecting 3,933 results. These results are supposed to be uploaded on IREV, and what we have presently is 3,622. But if you refresh this button now, you're going to see that we already have 3,678 results already uploaded out of 3,933 results, and that of course is 93.52% of the results that we're expecting are already out. Now this gives me the impression that just before we know what's happening, we'll probably have results announced, because if you have 93% right now, it just takes a matter of time, and then you have all the results up there. Now let's take a look at, let's start from Akoko Northeast. From Akoko Northeast, what we're seeing here is that we're expecting 159 results from 159 polling units in Akoko Northeast. But what we already have now is 158 results. That's for Akoko North. Remember, we're looking at 18 local government areas, and we're also looking at some wards. When we look at Idori, okay, let's take a look at this particular one we have here. Anyway, we have to also refresh this. This is for all wards. So for all wards, this is what you have here. You have some results that have been released. But let me just take it from here. Idori, we have uploaded 163 results out of 166 results. Now for Ifedore, we have 167 posted, while we are waiting for just two, because there are 169 polling units here. We're waiting for just two from Ifedore. For Akoko Southwest, we're expecting 199 results, and so far 194 have been uploaded. Now when you go to Akoko Northwest, you will also see that we have just two results remaining that we need to see right there from Akoko Northwest. Okitipupa, we have 251 out of 269 results. This just tells you, how that some of these results are being uploaded in real time, and I think it's quite interesting to see that this is moving fast. It tells me that before we know what, maybe by 12, I think I shouldn't guess, right? But I just feel that before you know what's happening, we'll have all these results, and then a winner will definitely be announced by INEC. INEC is authorized to make that announcement, so we will be waiting for INEC to make that announcement. But if you just want to have a look, this is what a regular results would look like. And this particular one, you have the polling unit, you have whoever scored the highest here. Everything is written right here. Again, let's continue. When you go to Ileoluji/Okibo local government area, we're expecting 191 results from there, but what we have uploaded so far is 144. So we need some results to come in from that place so we can know what's left. For Ilaje, we're having 252 uploaded now, remaining exactly 40 results from Elijah, or what, 274 now uploaded, remaining one. Ondo East, 92 uploaded out of 106. So we can just go on and see what we have there. But let me just do a quick one. Like I said, it's real time, so I'll refresh again and see if we have new results uploaded so far. Well, we have new results. Now we have 3,684 results uploaded out of 3,933. I mean, in a matter of hours, we'll definitely be done, and maybe we'll have an announcement. I mean, that's that for the electoral results. Taking a look at IREV and what we already have there. But apart from that, we'll also be taking a look at electoral offenses and penalties. I mean, it was interesting listening earlier when one of your guest was talking about, not punishing people, not, prosecuting electoral offenders. And I also remember that even Serap had to, sue INEC, and INEC responded talking about how that they actually prosecute offenders. However, it is slow, and they gave the reason why it is slow. And they also said, if you're looking at this political party, these political leaders, elected governors or what have you, they have immunity, and we can't prosecute them. So we just have to prosecute these other people, the field guys they send to the streets to do all of these other things. But let me come to this. Our electoral laws, including the Constitution and the Electoral Act, are designed to safeguard the integrity of our democratic process. Now, these laws govern voter registration, election procedures, and dispute resolution. However, violations of these laws, known as electoral offenses, can undermine the fairness and credibility of elections. And that, of course, is what we're talking about here today. Now, various actors may commit such offenses, including INEC officials, political parties, candidates, observers, and the general public. Now, the law prescribes penalties such as fines and imprisonment, to deter and punish these offenders. By upholding the law, we are going to ensure that our elections reflect the people's true will and strengthen our democracy. Now, the question you want to ask yourself is, what are these offenses? I'd like to begin with improper use of voter card. Now, when we take a look at improper use of voter card, if you can have that displayed right now. Improper use of voter card. So for improper use of voter card, you're going to have, the offense somewhere here, and then you also have the penalty somewhere in the middle, and then you also have the section of the law where it is taken from. If you can have that up right here, improper use of voter card, if you can have it up, so we just look at what we have there. Now, for improper use of voter card, that's unlawful giving of a voter's card to some other person for use at an election other than an officer appointed to do so. And also for people who are in possession of more than one voter's cards, a maximum fine of 1 million naira or imprisonment for 12 months or both is what they will get. Now, this is from Section 120 of the Electoral Act 2010. When you look at the Electoral Act 2022, it's another section, but of course the penalty is the same. Now let's also take a look at the next one, which is the dereliction of duty or false result. For dereliction of duty or false result, this is what it means. That's when a polling officer fails to report on time or to discharge his duties on an election day without lawful excuse. So when an electoral officer, a polling officer fails to report on time, it's actually wrong. Something wrong has happened. Now, when somebody also, an electoral officer, polling officer rather, announces or publishes a false election result, this is the penalty. On conviction, to a maximum of 500,000 naira or 12 months. That's what you have right there for that particular one, 12 months or both. And then you also have 36 months imprisonment for this particular one. Now, very quickly, let's go to bribery and conspiracy. There you talk about vote buying. For bribery and conspiracy, we also have right there some of the offenses, what that means. Bribery and conspiracy. Let's look at bribery and conspiracy. But okay, let's just talk about this then. Good. For bribery and conspiracy, you have an offense: paying money to any other person for bribery at any election, receiving any money or gift for voting, or to refrain from voting at any election. Now, on conviction, to a maximum fine of 500,000 naira or 12 months imprisonment or both, I also have a maximum fine of 500,000 naira. So now it's not just about the person who is giving the money. Also, the person who is receiving will definitely have to be penalized, and the penalty is 500,000 naira or imprisonment, or you can even have both. Imprisonment for 12 months or both. Now, these are some of the offenses and the penalties, and then you want to ask yourself, a lot of the times, when we have elections, we see people who are caught in the act. Even today, we have a video of, vote buying. If you can just have that video up there, we have a video of vote buying, and then you ask yourself, this video is already here. Now, what is going to happen? Have these people been arrested? That's the first question. Have they been arrested? Now, if they have been arrested, what is happening moving forward? It's very important that we make sure that these things are not just in paper. We need to ensure that Nigerians are aware of these things. So you know that when you're getting into anything like this, there is a punishment for what you're doing, and that punishment has to be meted out. And that, of course, is why we're calling on INEC to do the needful at every point in time. Apart from this, I'll just bring you one more so we close this and then we go on a break. Now, the second one is also something that happened somewhere also in, of course, Ondo State, where this election is going on. Now, we have voting by unregistered persons and a lot of other things that can happen. Now, this is another thing. Here, we're having a situation where these things are being destroyed. Voting materials are being destroyed. Now, this is also an offense, and this offense also has its own penalty. And, of course, a lot of things like this have been happening. And the question still remains, what is being done to deter these things from happening? You can see from the date, it's today. The date is today, if you can get it clearer. The date is actually today. So that tells you that this actually happened today, an election. And this is what we have right there. So these are some of the things we're looking at, and we're hoping that the INEC would definitely do the needful. I mean, when we take a look at some of these reported cases, number one, we're talking about AAC member, which everybody saw, the AAC member talking about, or let's say the AAC member was sort of, talking to these other guys, telling them that what they are doing is wrong. We all saw that video. Another one is an elderly woman who was saying that they have voted and collected money. That happened in Igbotako, Kitibukpa local government area of Ondo State. We also saw another video where DSS officials nabbed an alleged vote buyer with 2 Ghana must go bags containing cash in the ongoing Ondo State governorship election. We have seen some of those videos. There are a lot of videos. We may not be able to play all of them. But then for number two, just like I talked about earlier, on conviction, we know what will happen to these people. I mean, they have to pay money and all of those things, or even both. They can either pay the money or they have both. So these are some of the things, happening, and these are some of the things we have seen so far. Not so much has been seen, just talking about vote buying, and of course that place where we had the destruction of voting materials. And it's our hope that INEC will live up to its responsibility, which is prosecuting these offenders, basically.